Ring the bell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Society, and welcome to my review show here of NXT Great American Bash Week 2 from August 6, 2024 from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. I'm Karlifornia with you once again, debuting the cowboy hat here on Slam Reviews here for the Slam Society. And let's get on with it straight away. I apologize that the review is late. I have not been very well. Still not feeling the best, but feeling good enough to finish this review off for week 2 of GAB, the Great American Bash. Hank and Tank, their stuff opens the show. Very good. We open the show with a singles match here. Pete Dunne taking on Trick Williams, former champion Trick Williams. Pete Dunne is back in NXT now for who knows how long. He's left the group with Sheamus now. Last time he was in NXT, he was with Ridge Holland when Sheamus was injured and the Brawling Brutes needed something to keep them busy. So I don't know what the reasoning is here now, but maybe they feel like Pete needs to go back down there and help someone like Trick Williams along the way. I know it's interesting how they have some of these main roster guys like pop in and pop out of NXT. Depending on if they need some focus. Like I believe Cedric Alexander is going to be there for the foreseeable future, and the guy that was in Hit Row, one of the last remaining Hit Row members on the roster. I can't remember his name. Anyway, not much to really say here about this. Pete Dunne took control early, which is an incredibly important note for this whole review here, and that everyone at home really needed to know that Pete Dunne, he took control early in this matchup. This was a different style for Trick Williams to work, which I think is good for him. And I will say, though, I'm not entirely sure that I care about this feud. That's probably on me, though, because I haven't been watching the weekly product, which I promise, cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my fucking penis eye. I will start watching NXT every week moving forward. It was a good match. I'll give them that. Trick cops a loss with the bitter end from Pete Dunne, and he loses clean. Shit. Who'da fucking thunk it? We've got some Great American Bash festivities. Lexus King is DJing. He's playing some rock and roll. Plays some fucking rock and roll. Eddie Thorpe wanted to... I guess Eddie Thorpe and Lexus King are feuding. They need to do something with Lexus King, and soon. He's been kind of pottering around, not really doing a whole lot. Having these short feuds here, there, and everywhere. Let's get him in a decent angle. Let's try and evolve that character slightly. Let's have something happen to him, is what I'm trying to say. Robert Stone and Stevie Turner turn up, and they end up in an eating contest. Moving forward, Ethan Page is talking about his ice bath with some guy backstage that he needs it 1 degree warmer, which is dumb. Nathan Fraser ends up just interrupting because that's what he does. And of course, they end up bickering because that's what they do in NXT. Everyone always ends up in some fucking argument backstage. These people, these people are the most unhinged and erratic human beings I've ever seen in my entire life. A lot of these people should have been arrested by now. Ethan tells Nathan to worry about where his tag partner Axiom is, and then Nathan gets a bit fun. Oh, I'm Nathan Fraser. I'm a bit worried about Axiom. Where is my tag partner? Coming up next, Women's North American Championship here on the line. Kalani Jordan, who's not going to be dropping the belt here. You know when it's early in the title reign, someone's not going to lose. She's defending against my girl, Tatum Paxley. Kalani, definitely not losing this soon, sorry. I feel bad for Tatum at the moment, though. She's had so many shots and so many belts. She's had so many opportunities, and she seems to get the short end of the straw more often than not. You know, I guess it's just one of those situations. I'm sure at some point she will find her success, and now that they have a secondary women's championship there in NXT, the odds that some ladies like a Tatum will find success and win a championship and won't just have to keep relying on going for the main title. For some reason my right nipple's itchy. Um Kalani, I could tell she's been working on her chain wrestling. Tatum went tit for tat with her with the gymnast stuff, the flipping around and cartwheels and all that shit. And I went and did some Googling, mate, Googling. And it seems that Tatum Paxley is a former gymnast and a powerlifter. Fun fact, Tatum Paxley is able to lift 3 times her own body weight. That's unbelievable. I thought the match lacked heat. Not that it's a bad match. Tatum's shenanigans did keep it interesting. She climbed into the ring, distracted Kalani by having a doll that looked like Kalani sitting there as she went to look under the ring for Tatum. Wendy fucking Chu comes out. Nothing against her. Again, every gimmick they've given her, I do not like. If she's going to keep implementing the pillows and the pajamas, it's just like, enough. Kalani missed the split-legged moonsault. That got my heart racing, mate. I thought that Tatum Paxley was going to win when she hit the 450 splash, and then Kalani kicked out. I'm like, come on. Come on. Tatum is never going to win a title at this rate. Spanish fly from Kalani and a frog splash, and she retains. Wendy hands Tatum a doll and then attacks her afterward, which I don't know what the fuck is going on. But anyway, we'll find out later down the line. You never be too quick to shit on something when the reasoning for it and the explanation hasn't been able to have the opportunity to come your way yet. Good things come to those that wait. And also, you can wait for something and then nothing actually end up happening. Like Undisputed Kingdom and the Elite taking over AEW storyline. Just wanted to throw that out there. Just want to throw out there that the 2 biggest angles that company had in the last year didn't go anywhere. And that I'm saying that because I will be responding to someone a little bit later on. Charlie Dempsey with Miles Bourne backstage. I always blank on Miles Bourne's name. I always think his name's Wes, and I'm like, it's not Wes. What is it? Miles Bourne. Ren Sinclair comes up wondering where Tavion is. Obviously, she's got a bit of a horn for Tavion Heights, or just a keen interest. He's in Japan for the N1, which I don't know what the fuck that is. What is the N1? I'm not even going to Google it. Probably something to do with Noah. Ren wants to be in the group if she beats Kendall later on in the show. Charlie says no. She says, why not? I agree. What's the big deal? What's the big deal, Charlie? Come on, Charlie. Here comes AT. How you fucking doing, Tone? How you fucking doing? He's with Channing Stacks, Lorenzo. Fucking Stacks, bro. With AT, how you fucking doing, Tone? With a fucking Luca Cruzifino, huh? Huh? The consigliere, huh? How you fucking doing, huh? All right. And Adriana Rizzo, she's a hot tamale. He offers for some reason, Tony offers Charlie a Heritage Cup title match if Ren Sinclair wins. So then she says she's not feeling it. So Charlie caves and says, all right, if you win, you can join the group, but you better win because I want a shot at the fucking stupid trophy. Which thankfully they did not have the family, a fucking doing. They didn't have them walking around carrying that big lug of a trophy like everyone else always does. But I'll tell you what, they have people carrying around championship belts on their shoulder. I talk about it all the time. Obafemi walks in and he walks in the middle of this group. Get out of my way. He's been there since last week, by the way. I don't know if that footage of him showing up last week was supposed to air this week, because all they did was show him show up last week, nothing else. And then he shows up again this week, walking through the building, I believe wearing the same outfit. And yeah, I noticed it. I fucking noticed it. And he's walking around with his title belt on his shoulder. You make him look like Marks when you do that. No one would do that. It's so painful. Then all of a sudden, Nathan Fraser trying to call Axiom on the fucking phone. He won't pick up the fucking phone. Oh, wait a minute. There's Axiom. He runs into him. He just wanted to give Nathan some space, and he's ready for the tag match. Stupid. You know, it's like, oh, we gotta try and continue 3 stories at once. Let's just try and smash it together, and it's all right. I'm just being hypercritical there. I start complaining about where is Kelly Kincaid, because there's a camera woman asking Pete Forkin Dawn a question, and I don't like that. If Kelly can't do it, Sarah Schreiber should be running around trying to get the scoop. I don't want a fucking cameraman talking behind the camera. That's just me. Trick attacks him as he's leaving, and this happens way too often in NXT, and I'm sorry to say it, it's a lazy way to continue a feud, having someone be attacked in the back 5-10 seconds into an interview. Stop it. Don't need to do it. AEW do it all the time. NXT title match coming up next. Ethan All Ego Page taking on Oro Mensah from Metaphor with Lash Legend and Jakara freaking Jackson at ringside. I was feeling like this show doesn't feel like high stakes right now. And I thought Ethan really had to show me something here, because his title win, although a nice surprise, little bit out of left field, did we get the chance to really know Ethan Page before all of this fucking happened? Because, you know, I'm not going to say like I know everything about Ethan Page. I remember him from AEW. I remember him apparently having been already in TNA. But, you know, something needs to happen here. Oro's biggest match of his career here. I like when he got drop kicked mid springboard moonsault. Very nice. He got put through a picnic table, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Oro cooks with fucking gas, son. With his comeback, but Ethan Page hit the ego's fucking edge to retain. Not a bad match. These specials in the Performance Center are definitely just prettied up episodes of NXT, which happen to have title matches. That's how this felt. I'm not being negative on the show. I'm just saying. Anyway, my worries and concerns about Kelly Kincaid are over as she interviews MSK. And it's quite clear and obvious that Kelly Kincaid is pregnant. So congratulations to Kelly. Geez, that felt like it happened overnight. I feel like the last time I saw her, she looked like, I don't know, her regular size, and now boom, big bump in the belly. So you know, it's great stuff. Good for her. It's like, oh yeah, you relax, girl. You don't need to be running around getting the scoop. Sarah can fucking do that shit. Wes gets all emotional about whatever. MSK going for the tag titles. Backstage, we're back at the barbecue for the Great American Bash, and the guys are backstage and they're cornholing. They're playing cornhole. You guys ever played cornhole? It's when you throw the little bag of fucking sand or whatever into the hole. Cornholing. The chicks argue over who's going to get the next title shot. Lola Vice was there, who I wouldn't mind a bit of cornholing with myself. Yeah, dude gets beat up because he goes up to them and says that they're all I don't know what he said. He just said that they were good looking chicks, right? He said that they were hot. They're all a smoke something. Why can't I think of the phrase? A smoke. Forget it. Anyway, he gets put through a table. Stupid. Joe Coffey taking on Joe Hendry the next match. It was good to see Joe Hendry taking it all seriously after his entrance. But this constant bullshit from the fans about who is showing up on TNA needs to end. Okay? I'm going to make it loud and clear more than once in this review. NXT get higher ratings than TNA. TNA are on Access TV. Unfortunately, they don't get as many ratings or as much ratings, so less eyeballs reach them than they do in NXT, which means anyone from NXT showing up in TNA helps TNA and gives them the rub. Thank you very much. I liked at the beginning of this match, Hendry took out Gallus early with that dive over the top rope. Very nice and surprising. We get some We Believe chants. Hendry is going to be around in WWE for a while. I am getting overness vibes like LA Knight. And how he's got that fire of the main roster. I see the same for Joe Hendry. Booker saying, Booker T was talking about singing Joe Hendry's song in the shower, which I found funny. I like the part where Hendry fooled the referee into getting Gallus ejected. So now he's inserting a little bit of like an Eddie Guerrero style kind of cheekiness to his character. And then Joe hit the standing ovation on Joe Coffey for the big win. And I'm like, okay, there we go. There we go. I don't know where you go from here with Gallus. Like that group seems to more than often put people over. I don't know really where else they're going to go with that team. I think that they're all pretty talented and there's a spot for them, but again, I say stuff like this all the time. Like, what's going to become of Malik Blade and Idris Enofi? There's so many teams already. Their team doesn't really have a fucking, a character or like an aura. What are you going to do with these guys? Anyway, Sarah Schreiber interviews Joe. She's going to take over from Kelly soon, I'm sure, while she's on maternity leave, not paternity leave. Joe looking to stick around in NXT, and he will be here next Tuesday. That will be when we start off a real feud with Joe Hendry here in NXT. Chase U with a vignette. Ridge Holland is believed to have built the new classroom for Chase U, and Ridge is 100% in Chase U now. Very mature age student there, I think. They want to bring the gold home, sucker. They're getting a tag title shot next week, thanks to Ridge. And we find out that the team will be Ridge and Andre Chase going for the titles. And Duke was all upset. And I smell title change, bitch. Stupid. Back to the barbecue one more time. Brooks Jensen is still going downhill. Sean Spears wants him to not drink alcohol and to keep his life together. Robert Stone is then shown with Stevie Turner. And I understand that they had a food eating contest, him and Stevie. We don't know who won, but Robert Stone having so much sauce on his face is so ridiculous. He had sauce on his, like here, sauce all over his shirt. And I'm like, did you eat out of a trough? Anyway, the Good Brothers rock up, and I can't remember what the fuck happened. I think they got into a fight with Hank and Tank, and I'm like, what's going to happen with the Good Brothers? You can't find a spot with them on the main roster, and they still haven't won the NXT tag titles down here. What's becoming of them? What is the problem? Why can't you find a spot? I'm interested into knowing what is going on with them. Anyway, Ren Sinclair takes on Kendall Gray here. Kendall getting 2 matches in 2 weeks. Congratulations. Obviously, they see something in her. Although I would like to see Carly Bright get out there too. I want to see what she's all about. That's her tag partner at ringside there. Ren Sinclair, obviously with the No Quarter Catch crew. And again, if she wins, she joins the group. I look at the ladies here and I just think, how is everybody NXT so hot, dude? Damn. I said this last week. It seems like all the ladies end up getting saddled with a group of guys. Jada Parker with Out the Mud, Ren Sinclair with the No Quarter Catch crew, Brinley Reese with Enofi and Malik Blade, Thea Hale with Chase U, and fucking Cetera. Fucking Cetera. What the fuck am I going on about? Right. That's it. I started to sidebar again, thinking, Where's Izzy Dame? What's happened with her? Just put her with Kiana James in the main roster and try to get them involved in the tag division with some small angles, considering you have done nothing with Kiana James yet except have her beat Natalya in a singles match. Come on. She was cooking with gas at NXT. Don't you dare bring her up there only to pump the brakes on it because you didn't know what to fucking do. Ren is stretching Kendall early. Charlie and Miles impressed at ringside. Miles ends up looking stupid again with Kendall. He gets involved. I'm like, where is he? Where are they going with this Miles Bourne Kendall? Fucking hell, Kendall Gray feud. I wonder. Ren Sinclair ends up winning. Charlie Dempsey afterward. This is probably my favorite thing of the show that made me laugh the most. Ren Sinclair wins, and Miles is saying, they're acting it out like, see, told you she was all right. And Charlie Dempsey's doing like his best, like Robert De Niro, like, stupid, just like, yeah, okay, we get it, Charlie. Like, yeah, right, yeah, I think she's in the group, yeah. Anyway, congrats to Maddie Rankowski, aka Ren Sinclair. Finally, she's found a little spot there. You can check out my exclusive interview with her before she was in NXT on this channel on the Insider's Edge fucking podcast. Siobhan Evans continues to teach us a little bit about him with another promo. He says he doesn't know who he is now because he's 20 years old, which is obvious. No one knows who they are when they're 20 years old. Obafemi, I think he's looking stupid the last 2 weeks, storming around hours at a time with his title belt over his shoulder. He's walking around. Now he's finally leaving the building before the main event. And then ATA, you fucking doing, Tone, and the family, they interrupt Oba talking, and they start talking to the camera. And the camera person doesn't let Oba finish his answer as the family finish off the promo for him. And Oba's just standing in the background like a fucking loser. Okay, so we're going with a T, you fucking doing, Tone, and an Oba Femi, a warrior. I am a warrior. He's going to be feuding. They're going to be feuding together. Excuse me. Sorry, I did have a 12-hour shift today. Getting close to the end here. One question: what's going on with Ariana Grace? Thank you. I know that they got to fucking recycle people in and out here. You see people and sometimes they go away for a few weeks, but at least it's not like a few months. Main event time, NXT tag team titles, yeah? It's Nathan Fraser and Axiom taking on MSK, which is Zachary Wentz and Wes fucking Lee with Trey Miguel at ringside. This match was spoiled for me ahead of time, so I'm hoping the Wes heel turn actually makes him interesting instead of wrestling's answer to potato soup. Zachary hit a Bronco Buster that went way too long in this matchup. Nathan hit a dive and nearly landed on his hole. Axiom hits his moonsault. Very nice. Avert break every time after there's been a couple of dives. Thank you. I see it. Fuck you. Fraser super kicked in mid moonsault. They're slowly but surely going to set up feuds and angles to make a when worlds collide mean something for TNA versus NXT. You don't just fucking do it straight away. You don't just do it straight away. Like, how dumb do you have to be to think that you got to get to it straight away? We don't need to see just matches for matches' sake. That's what a fucking mark is looking for. We don't need to aim for the lowest common denominator. We don't need to go for the vocal minority. No. We want to get as much interest as possible. So if we build feuds for an eventual when worlds collide, boom, TNA versus NXT, then it will mean more, bitch. Thank you. The issue with fans are they don't understand how complicated a situation like this is. We have to introduce TNA people to the NXT audience, right? The NXT audience might not watch TNA, so we need to introduce the TNA guys to NXT, okay? Then there might be people who are TNA fans that don't watch NXT. So we need to, I don't know, fucking introduce them, try and get both fans that don't watch each other's products to start watching each other's products, wondering who's going to come over from their beloved TNA or their beloved NXT. And then after a few months, after all this has fucking gone on with this person and that person showing up, this person showing up, that person showing up, this feud begins, that feud begins. Eventually, the heat's going to boil up to the point where we're going to need to see NXT versus TNA. It's not fucking hard. Think about it. You got to build to it. You don't just fucking like hint at something and then never go anywhere with it. Anyway, back to the match. Some good near falls, golden ratio. It was over, and Axiom and Fraser retained. The Rascals help Wesley up after the match. Trey Miguel gets super kicked by Wesley. He field goal kicks Wentz. He screams at him, "You left me alone. You left me alone." Even though Wentz was released, he couldn't do anything about it. But it's great because Wesley is just being so selfish right now. And he's already 110% more interesting than before. And one big point I wanted to make before I rate this show out of 10 and I go to some tweets. Excuse me. Remember, people who start as baby faces are almost never interesting till they've seen their first heel turn through. Remember John Cena. Remember The Rock. Remember when they came in smiling? The Blue Chipper. Those types. You know, there's a lot of people that come in and you know what? Like, I think it even works for someone who comes in as a heel. A lot of the time, at the beginning, but then they'll keep going, and then they'll get so good that they'll become a baby face because people think that they're doing a good job as a heel. You know, it kind of works both ways. So I just think like a lot of the time, baby faces are so bland and boring. If it's someone who is like coming as a baby face, repeating myself a little bit here, once they turn heel, by the time they turn babyface again, they'll be fucking fine as a babyface because we now know layers to their character. There is more depth to them than there was before. Any fucking who. Let's move forward. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Middle of the road. Cool show, but didn't blow my fucking mind. Let's get to some tweets, shall we? Tweet number 1. From Jersey Joe Gotch. I believe I have responded to a tweet of his before. This is dumb shit that WWE NXT does that makes me feel stupid to watch it. And it's the dude from the barbecue who got put through a table. The barbecue. I don't know why that bothers you. I've seen much worse in wrestling. It's just a little gag to get us through the show, mate. Just relax. Lucky Galtum 18 says, we thought the betrayal that was coming between Axiom and Nathan Fraser, and it turned out to be Wesley betraying Rascals. That incredibly unexpected twist that NXT always brings. Wesley will have a lot to explain next week. Thank you. Very nice. Good to see that you enjoyed the heel turn. I thought it was very well done as well, son. Moving forward, Faced to Sarcasm, or The Resistance is their name. Why did Wesley have one of the nastiest and sexiest heel turns ever? Sexiest? Well, how is that sexy? Why would that be sexy? Well, he kicked a guy in the fucking head, kicked another guy between the fucking legs, smashed the guy through a barricade, then double knees to a guy's face when his head's right against a steel stairs. That's sexy to you? You straight up freak, bro. You're a straight up freak. Right. At Wrestle Headlines. This is just some news. NXT viewership goes up for August 6th. Great American Bash special on Sci-Fi. Okay. I just, yeah, I wanted to bring this up because some people keep on fucking making comparisons from NXT to AEW. The viewership went up when they had a special. How is it that Blood and Guts, how the fuck is it that their Blood and Guts episode went down in viewership than the previous week? What are they doing wrong over there? They can't fucking maintain anything. They can't get any momentum, and still there are wrestling fans going on about how much better AEW is than NXT or TNA or whatever the fuck. Like, things are going upward for them. Things are going downward for AEW. It's okay to admit things aren't going so well. That's the thing that annoys me. You keep on fucking looking with your rose tinted glasses thinking everything's hunky dory. It's not, dude. Final tweet. Is this the final tweet? Second final tweet. Okay. Dr. Mike G at Dr. M Gross MD. Ouch. What once was up now is down. Even with the allure of Great American Bash and John Henry. What the fuck is wrong with you, you fucking idiot? With the allure of Great American Bash and John Henry. I believe in John Henry. NXT is in the rut. NXT still is in the rut. Is English your second language? My grandkids even laughed at the eating contest when we flipped through, laughing in a sad way. Oh, fuck off, mate. Your grandkids had an attitude in a sarcastic laughing tone, did they? Or maybe they actually found the eating contest funny. We have to accept that NXT will never be AEW. There you go. There you go again, Dr. Mike. You know, bro. You know everything, okay? You and your favorite wrestler there, John Henry. Fuck you, bro. I hope NXT never becomes AEW. I hope to God they will never be AEW because then they will be down the fucking gurgler, mate. Sorry, not sorry. All right, final tweet. No, not even tweet. This is actually from Reddit. There was a debate going on about something to do with fucking AEW. And Waylon Voorhees here, he brought up NXT. And yeah, some guy said, what does NXT have to do with it? They're not in a working relationship with AAA or CMLL. These kind of responses are low effort. That's true. Waylon Voorhees said, you say that, but aren't most of the post bashing AEW low effort? Here we go. Little Crusader has to save the day for AEW. It's always against them. They're the victims. Grow up. And look at what WWE sent TNA compared to getting their hottest act, Knockouts champ, and possible their most protected heart and soul in Alexander, minus 22 votes for his comment. You knobhead. You are a knobhead, mate. I've already said it. NXT get higher ratings than TNA, so anyone from NXT that shows up on TNA have had more eyeballs on them in the last few years than people in TNA have. Just a fucking fact. You can fucking consider being in the vocal minority to be the majority all you want. It's like when people back in the day when AEW Dynamite began, they all thought that the first episode of Dynamite was going to get like a fucking 4.5 million people. I remember one guy commenting, I've said this before and it makes me laugh. What's wrong with everyone? Where is everyone? I thought we were all in this together. Like, I thought this was it. This was it when wrestling was back. Where is everyone, man? They're not fucking watching, dude. They're gone. They're gone. They're not coming back. Wrestling fans from back then, the casual fans, they're not coming back, bro. It's over. Where is everyone, man? What the fuck's everyone's problem? I can't believe it. Like, dude, get your head out of the fucking clouds and out of the sand, mate. Both sides of the spectrum. Anyway, NXT is more well known than TNA right now. Like, you can think it all you want, but them sending Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame, Gallus, anyone is a big deal. Joe Hendry coming up to, or John Henry going up to NXT. Look what's happened. I'm sorry, but before he went and showed up on NXT and got so over there, he was not in any plans in TNA to become a top guy. I'm telling you, I've been watching them the last few years. They've had him nice and safely in a little spot. They weren't going anywhere with him. And now because of this, up he goes. Up he goes. There we have it. Had enough. Thank you for joining me here on the Slam Society for my review right here of NXT Great American Bash Week 2, Karlifornia. See you down the road. Thank you.